What are some good weird questions to ask someone to get to know them better? What do you hate? Seriously, you can have nothing in common with a person, but as soon as you realize you both hate the same things, you'll feel like that dude is family. Now that I think about it, that explains a lot of the things that happened these last years. Wow, I hate me too. We should be friends. One day at work we got a new hire who was set to work with me and another guy on the night shift. For the first week she barely said anything. Then at the start of week 2 I'm midway into the shift focusing on some shit on my computer monitor when I hear her say, "What's your opinion on eating ass?" I was fucking shocked and that's hard to do. I bust out laughing and tell her to do that again to our other coworker. Few minutes later he comes back and is also focusing on some computer stuff. It gets dead quiet and she quietly turns to him and says, "What's your opinion on eating ass?" He didn't even move. Immediately his ears moved like he was just jolted back to reality from zoning out. He slowly turns to her with the eyebrow thing like The Rock does but with glasses and goes, "What?" I was crying. Did you eat her ass? Asking the right questions. What's the largest mammal you think you could knock out with a single punch? Your bitch ass. What's up? LMAO, I think my lung collapsed when I read this. What's one superpower you would not want? Their answer could be pretty telling. If they answer seriously or sarcastically or don't want to play along. I asked my so this and he said the power to command fish. And I was like, why? And he was like, I'm never around fish. Solid. What can you talk about for hours? What's the best part of your day? Edit. Gold. Or thanks. May all of your conversations blossom. 10 minutes later. Oh, I regret that first question. I once had someone ask me, what's the worst thing about you? Guess what? I have flaws. What are they? Oh, I don't know. I sing in the shower. Sometimes I spend too much time volunteering. Occasionally I'll hit somebody with my car. So sue me. It was just Meredith. When's the last time your dick has gotten direct sunlight? I don't know if my dick ever has. Ever pissed outside? At night. Moonlight is just sloppy second sunlight. Can't fault you there. Ask them their favorite holiday. See if it's a more family-oriented holiday or a more social holiday. As a British person I was thoroughly confused when the replies to this weren't foreign destinations. You come across an old lady and baby drowning in a pool. You can only save one. Who do you save and why? Had someone ask me this at a semi-professional event as an icebreaker, haha. Much better than the usual questions. It would be physically easier to save the baby, but the baby is less likely to be able to negotiate a payment for rescue services. Kidnap the baby, raise it as your own, guilt it into supporting you in your old age. Baby grows up, finds itself having to decide whether to save you or a baby drowning in a pool. Favorite color, birthday, name of their first pet, and mother's maiden name. No reason. Hey man, does your credit card have 3 numbers on the back like mine? Lol, what are they? Lol. We have to do this at work, asking 5 questions to 3 new co-workers every week. My questions are, if you could bankrupt any person, company, country, or organization, who would it be? What is your drink of choice? If you could learn any musical instrument, what would it be? If you could intervene during any historic event, changing history, what would it be? You just became a member of the Spice Girls. What is your spice name? Create your own. Do you by chance play drums? Good drummers are hard to find, so it pays to ask around. Bad drummers also play the drums. Source: friends in a really good percussion quartet. The NYT has a piece about the 36 questions that lead to love. The title notwithstanding, it can be used to get to know anyone better. I've started sharing the questions with friends and I've never gotten past number 5 as we end up talking so much. What are you proud of, but never have an excuse to talk about? That gets people to talk about things they've done and just want to bring up, so you see what's important to them. Yeah, I'll eat ass. The oddest answer I've seen would you ever eat ass get was in an ideal world. Realistically, probably not. So, do you like bread? What is the most normal thing about you? Works, since nothing is more embarrassing than being normal nowadays. Most normal thing about me is I'm 22 and crippled with a fear of failure and I use memes as a coping mechanism, but all it does is mask the pain for a few minutes, haha. If space aliens announced that they would destroy the world in 24 hours, and there was no way to avoid it, what would you spend that time doing if you had all of the resources you have right this second? Money, car, etc. If you had unlimited resources, all the resources I have right now, not much, because I don't have anything, I'd probably rush to finish a project of mine so I can at least say I did something neat with my life before it ended. Infinite resources, evacuate humanity, claim my position as rightful God savior of the species, rule benevolently until I die. One celebrity who you are not currently friends with will be soulbound to for the rest of your life. There's no obligation that you have a romantic entanglement, although you're allowed to, and you guys will never be able to be more than 20 feet away from each other. Who do you pick? Willie Nelson. Easy. He'd probably be super chill to hang with, but if he's not, you probably aren't gonna have to put up with him that much longer. Soulbound. They die. You die. I fail to see the problem here. How much sawdust can you put into a Rice Krispie treat before people start to notice? Do you fuck with the war? No, I don't fuck with the war. I'm like, no, I don't fuck with the war. Like, what's next? You don't fuck with Pangear. This bitch don't know about Pangear. What is something that is important to you that you never really talk about? Where do you want to be in an hour? What is the last thing on your mind? What is something I wouldn't believe about you? What way do you have your toilet paper? Why? If you had to pick between being the world's best tetherball player and finding $100 on the street, what would you spend the money on? What is your favorite song by your least favorite artists? What do you like on your pizza? Easy way to go back and forth. Agree/disagree in a friendly subjective manner and expand into a greater conversation on what each other like to eat. Then you can work into places you have been where you ate a certain good/bad meals. From food to location, the conversation can go out of places. How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? Why? Where were you in 1998 when The Undertaker threw mankind off of Hell in a Cell and he plummeted 16 feet before crashing through an announcer's table? My new personal favorite. On an average day, how many pigeons do you think you could reasonably carry? It's so far out of left field, it throws people off and gets them thinking. They also think you're weird for asking it, but it's worth it for the random answers you'll get. Ask what makes them sad, delicately as you can. Because not everybody would like to talk about this with strangers, but this is a good point to know people better. Nice to meet you. What makes you sad? Would prefer to be buried or cremated. When I'm dead, just throw me in the trash. What is your go-to Super Smash Bros. Character? I jump in the air 6 times as Kirby and then press down B. Get out. If you could pick a day to relive over and over, Groundhog Day style, what day would it be and why? Would you cannibalize someone to survive on a stranded island knowing that there's a 25% chance of rescue/survival if you eat the corpse but a guaranteed death if you don't eat it? I would eat it, but I'm pretty sure the volleyball is coming up with those statistics. Alright, you get $10 million, but there's this snail. Whispers decoy snail. Anytime I meet someone new I cannot help but wonder what their favorite kind of porn is. I've managed to restrain myself from asking it of anyone I just met thus far, but when I do ask someone I think their reaction to the question and their answer to the question can be pretty telling. Would you screw a perfect clone of yourself? People's answers are really telling, I think. Some think hard about it and justify their stance and others just say yes/no. How often do you ejaculate? Depends on how fast you stroke. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Never fucking trust someone who picks invisibility, who needs to fly or be invisible when you could just teleport. Seriously. I used to ask women on first dates what's written on the stone circle at end of the street of the lift at Lorax. So, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? What conspiracy theories do you believe? What's your fight record? All time. You can find out a lot about a person with what they say and how they say it. If they have a good sense of humor, if they are full of shit, if they are a bump on a log, they will get really weirded out. What's the least important thing that's very important to you? It teaches you about their hobbies or what's currently trending in their brain. When I was managing and interviewing people for a higher end pizza restaurant, we had to ask every person, If you were a pizza topping, what would you be and why? Got some crazy responses. If you could have a song play every time you enter a room, what would it be? Darude Sandstorm. Can you fold a fitted sheet? If so, marry them. Would you rather have sex with a goat but no one would know, or not have sex with a goat but everyone believes you did? That one has always led to hilarious discussions. Do you think vaccines cause autism? If they say yes, then don't talk to them ever again. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, one lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.